ProGroupRacing.com.au presents Show Us Your Tips, previewing Saturday racing at Rosehill and Pakenham for the 5th of December 2020. Daggy joined by the Beaver as always. How are you, mate?
Very good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Good. How was the week?
Week's been good.
Yeah, it's been, Gosford was all right. I want to apologise to everyone.
Just realised I haven't got my shirt on.
Oh, that's right. I won't tell anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to apologise to everyone for ever including a horse-off Tari form in an all-up. I have to apologise wholeheartedly, and that won't happen again. Apart from that, the other three all won. So
yes,
not a bad return for Gosford. Tougher going at Sandown, but
really tough at Sandown.
Was what it was. I think we had 3 or 4 seconds.
It's tough on those days when you're 24, 48 hours ahead and things just get backed on the day, and you just go, oh.
We've had days where we've been on the right side of that.
The map,
yeah,
it came home like a train. Was a good one.
Yeah, we've had days where we've been on the right side and had days where we're on the wrong side. You just got to, I guess, back your judgment and go with that. Track played okay at Sandown. It was pretty standard Sandown. We just missed on a couple of swoopers there. Perennial would have been nice to finish a day.
Yes.
But was what it was. We had to anything else out of the week. We've got to plug ProGroupRacing.com.au, as we've said. Head there for your extensive guides and free tips. There's plenty of news up there about the Pakenham Cup. Nick Ryan spending express pass up to Sydney, and a story about the retirement of Pat Webster.
Oh no.
Who trained Happy Clapper.
Happy Clapper, that's what.
But I believe it is Kementari's last race tomorrow at Ascot, and Galo Chop, I think, as well. Both going out tomorrow with the Group 1 Railway Stakes. You've had a look at that, or you?
No,
not really.
We'll have a look as well.
We'll go through. I think the one we talked about, the lightly raced Willie Pike, pink colours, will probably win again. Inspirational Girl, I think.
Yeah, it's not a bad horse.
Anyway, let's get to Sydney first, where Rosehill has the rail in the 4 metre position. Generally, as a rule, it's leaders from about 6 rail. 4's a tricky one. Couldn't really find a lot of history on it, but I'm defaulting. It was soft, obviously with a bit of rain during the week, but with the 40 degrees today and 40 degrees tomorrow, or 35, it will probably play on pace-ish. I'm leaning
and I
towards.
think it'll be a lot better than soft.
Yes, it'll be
good 4.
Good 4, if not better. Let's kick off in the first no with the Swepsch handicap over 1,300 metres. You just kick us off here. Any thoughts in the first?
Interesting affair, tricky little affair. 4 horses in the market here, all around the sort of $4 or $5 mark, which makes it hard to line up. Most of them have got winning form. Well, 3 out of the 4 have got winning form from the last start, and 1 resuming. Look, I've gone for Cultural Amnesia, purely because I think it might come across from the outside gate, get control, and not sure how the track will play, but I'm assuming on pace will help, and I'm hoping it controls from the front and kicks and wins.
That was I defaulted to the top 2, 1 and 2. Cultural Amnesia is a horse it's always been a trial star. I've always sort of had an opinion. It's actually broken through first up. It was in to run at Kenzo this afternoon. They've saved it for this, which I guess is a good indication. Josh Parr, the best front-running jockey on the program tomorrow. I think that was the starting point for me as well. Smart Image, the obvious danger. Both trials back have been quite nice. Did start $4 against North Pacific in town on that bog, and won the first 2. Not sure about the format of the first 2 races, but Free Image, I think, came through one of those races who won yesterday, whatever that means. But for me as well, Cultural Amnesia kicking us off. Let's head into the benchmark 72 over 1,500 metres. Race 2. I defaulted to Ellsberg here out of the group race up at Newcastle. It was a interesting. I struggled to really get my head around this race, so I think Ellsberg coming through the Eleanor race before that. Enchanted Heart's a strong city Saturday mare now, and before that, Cerberus has come out and who it beat on debut has run twice at Canterbury. So I thought Ellsberg the starting point around $3 mark, I think.
Yeah, get a little bit better than $3.
Yeah, $3, $3 to $4 there. For me, a few of these other ones, Instant Attraction, I don't know with Nash off. I don't know where Bowman's at. And a lot of Paper Warrior's a bit of a non-winner, for lack of a nicer term. So that's where I went to. What about yourself?
Yeah, I did the same. I came back to Ellsberg as well. I think, again, beyond the pace, Drawn better tomorrow. Should be able to get control here. 54. It's, horses like Paper Warrior giving it 4 kilos. I just can't see why Paper Warrior's $5 in this field. Main Danger, Tuscany, who's won the last 2. So winning is good form.
Yep. And Edmund's a reasonable horse. I know it's Hawkesbury form, just Toscanini. Paper Warrior, I thought it was its race first up, and I thought it was a bit disappointing, that Snowfire race. So I've already had enough of that this prep. The Highways race 3, no real comment here. What about yourself?
Cut out ball for me, mate.
That's fine. Interesting that that Sean O'Halloran's, who's got all the Waratah horses, is now starting to put his horses into the Highways, because if you start getting a couple of those, what's that good horse that Nash used to ride in those colours? Some of those sort of horses, they pop up in Highways, could be good things. It's not this one. I can't even name the horse now. Anyway, I'll work it out about 2 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah, good.
I'll text you.
No worries, Sam. I'll be waiting for that.
Oh, what was it? Anyway, Nash used to ride it when it was John Thompson. Write in and let us know, progretracing.com.au. Race 4, 1,800 metres for the 4-year-olds, the 3 and 4-year-olds. Were Reary Falls in this race?
Yes.
Yeah, stayed here. Not that interested in it. I thought in this race, I went looking for the 3-year-olds here. Thought they might have had the edge over the older horses, which meant again I had to go to the Newcastle form, and the Eleanor on top was pretty good winning that race. Just beat High Supremacy, big gap to 3rd. Gets J-Mac, probably gets running line here, according to New South Wales Speed Map, gets 1 out, 1 back, which is the prime James McDonald position, stalking there, and I thought it was the one to beat. The Namatsu and Kukaracha will probably go on my early quaddie in this race. I think the Army's going around this afternoon.
Is it?
I think so. I'll double check. But what do you like here, Bert?
I liked the Army.
Let me just
thought it
double
was going to be hard to beat. $8. I thought that was reasonably juicy odds, and but you might put a spanner in the works for me right now.
Let me just double check.
But I thought in a pretty open affair, if the Army is starting or it's not starting. What do you got?
Just looking now, Kenzo.
It'll be over a bit of distance, mate.
Wariri Falls is Naami's in this afternoon, so is Ulasaba.
Okay.
Wariri Falls being saved for tomorrow, so yeah.
Yeah, leave me out.
Okay. Probably a bit of a forgive on Atlantic King would be the only one of the older horses I'll throw up there, but the 3-year-olds for me.
Maybe even the top weight prospectus at $13 is not bad to show.
I don't know what. Yeah, the Supers run okay since.
Yes.
Yeah. Race 5, the 1,400 metre benchmark 88 again. Again, a bit of a gala here. Who'd you like?
I went for Enchanted Heart.
Yeah.
I thought Enchanted Heart's last 3 runs have been pretty good. It's drawn well here, so should get all the favours. She is down a bit in weight as well, I think, from last start. Probably about half a dozen kilos, and from the run at Newcastle, and was pretty close behind a decent horse in Great News. So yeah, 6 kilo pull in the weight there. Ran second behind a pretty good horse. The start before that was pretty strong. Beat Ellsberg, who's a horse we tipped earlier. And then prior to that, also beat Promotions quite comfortably at Randwick over 1,400. So likes this distance, going well, good jock aboard, drawn well. Yeah, I thought it was hardest to beat. And Big Boy Roy stepped back to form last start, which wouldn't rule it out.
Yep, on top for me too. I think Jason Collett probably suits a horse like this, just having last shot. Only real danger for me was Edison. Gets Josh Parr leader. It's flying this prep. Second, just missing through the cracks and Hilo, who would both be well in the market in this race. Leader's Gate is the other one to run down, but Enchanted Heart on top as well. Now starting to get deep in a prep, but only concern. Let's kick off the quaddie. Benchmark 78 over the 2,000 metres. How are you starting this one? This was a bit of a trickier affair.
Look, yeah, tricky race.
Actually, what do you do if Gone By is the first question I want to ask you, because it had the Canterbury bias in its favour last start.
Yeah, it did have the Canterbury bias in its favour, and for that reason I can't tip it. I've gone for Accountability. I think I tipped Accountability, was it last start as my value bet when it won, and paid about $8 or $9. Really liked the way it attacked the line. Again, a little bit worried about the inside draw, but it means it should get a cosy run. Hopefully can sit behind them, and probably has the best finish in this race of any of the horses. So if they're floundering at the end, this horse will be chewing them up.
The tick for Gone By now is Ulasaba comes out, so it probably gets sole lead. But I'm with Accountability as well. Thought it was a nice win, 2 back. Franked it when it won on protest. Last start, Relucent was okay last week, but Accountability, J-Mac, leaders back, and has to pop around one horse. Final shot. So, yeah, one of the better bets today, actually, Accountability. Unless there's a mad leaders bias, then I'll be changing that. But for now, we're assuming everything's all even. Yeah, I'm with you.
Perfect.
Race 7, 1100 metre, another 88. Sees Royal Witness back up from not much at Moonee Valley. Few usual suspects here. I am going to. I've got Mo's Crown on top. I can't believe it's $9. I think it was a pretty dominant win last start at Newcastle. Or was it Kembla? It was Kembla, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kembla.
And I talked about it first up. I think it needed the run. It was pretty dominant last start. And there's a few here that I'm really not interested in at all. Broken Arrows was a bit disappointing, if not unlucky. I thought it was Hulk's race last. Hulk's a danger, but I thought it was Hulk's race last time. I like the setup a lot better. Back to 1,000 for Hulks and coming back up. So just at the price, $9. Tim Clark, Mo's Crown. About yourself.
Yeah, look, I went the same way, funnily enough. It's third up tomorrow. I like him third up. It trialled well at Warwick Farm, then it was produced on a heavy track at Rosehill, and didn't like the heavy track. Came out Kembla, sat outside the lead and won well, as you've highlighted, with 58.5. So it gets a couple of kilos weight relief. Again, it's probably, gate 10's probably going to sit outside the lead again, or near enough to. And hopefully it can just kick in the straight, and at $9, I think, again, it's really, really good value in a race like this. Main danger Hulk, as you alluded to. It's very consistent of late. It's drawn well. It's got lightweight, so it'll certainly be in the finish.
And Pandemic's shown itself up a bit now. I don't need to worry about it anymore. Can't add much more. Good work. Race 8 over the 1350. Weird that there's a 1300 metre race and a 1350 metre race on the same card. I couldn't, unless it's just because of the size of the field, they've decided to roll the barriers back to let more starters. Anything I could work out, but that was weird. Doesn't make the race any easier though. I'm actually going to, for the sake of a tip, put the other Jason Coyle horse on top here, St Covered Spirit. Was trialled okay. Maybe a little bit disappointing last time, but was up at Newcastle. Tried hard, better for the run. We'll go back with Jason Collett's the concern, so we'll need to have the tracks playing by then. But second up last time was a length off Rubisaki. So around the $17 mark, I'll be having something on that. There's a few here that I'm sick of, is the main reason as well. So I struggled beyond that. What about yourself? Invinciano's went out a winner and was flying last prep.
Look, I didn't really like much in the race at all. If I was forced to have a tip, I'd go for the 3. Bit of sausage.
That was a heartbreak at Gundagai. Don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, so that was it for me. Didn't have much more to add.
No, that's fine as well. Let's wrap up the day with the 1200 metre benchmark 78. We see Big Parade after disappointing when it was smashed down at Kembla, back up here. I actually have done Birdie Power on top. I thought in the race there, it was the first 4 around the bend or the first 4 home. It was the best of the closers. I think it's come up pretty well, and around, is it double figures?
No, about $6.
$6, okay, better found I thought. It's on top for me from Above and Beyond, who's flying, but both Big Parade and Above and Beyond probably put each other out of play here. And Bold and Wild is a horse that's had some ability. Didn't finish the course last start, but first up, Cardiac Arrhythmia. Worked for us last week with Graceful Glamour. What about yourself? Any thoughts to finish the day?
Yeah, I stuck with Big Parade. Tipped it last start. as one of the better bets. Disappointed. Did that first up and then came out and brained him.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that last run was another one of those and it comes out and brains him again. Look, at 14 it is going to go forward. It is going to try and take up the pace, depending on how much pressure gets put on. But in this fairly midweek affair, hopefully it can lead him up and do the trick. So for me, yeah, I'm going to stick with Big Parade.
Cool. You can wrap up your day. You're in charge of the quaddie at Rosehill, I believe, this week.
Yep.
So you can give us your best and your value.
Yep. So I'll go start with the quaddie. I've gone 5, 7, 9, 13.
Yep.
First leg. In the second leg, I've gone 2, 5, 8, 10, and 13.
Yep.
In the third leg, I've gone 2, 3, 6, 7, and 11. And to wrap up the day, I've gone 1, 3, 9, and 10.
All right, it's about 500 combos. So you get about 10% for that.
Yeah. Very hard, but
that's fine. You get you need 2 splits there, and we're away. Your best and your value.
Oh, my best is accountability, which I think was in race 6, number 7. And my value bet of the day was race 7, number 10, Mo's Crown.
Very good. I'm going to... I just missed last time. I made a $9 shot my best, but I should make Mo's Crown my best. We'll throw it out there, and I'm going to make St Covered's my value because it's a day where it's hard to stamp anything, I think. So we'll throw it out there for the sake of me either looking like a genius or a fool. As I just watch your dog get lost in the long grass there, Beaver. There's just two little ears popping over your lawn. Good luck today to a couple of people. We'll give more shout-outs, which we do. Good luck. Leviathan over Carroll's got Exo Boom again running around at Kenzo this afternoon. Very hard to beat. I think it will probably win there. In race 3, I think it's well in the market. I think it's probably favourite, actually.
Yeah.
Hard to beat. And the People's Horse Britain, race 1 Newcastle tomorrow, odds on. So
okay.
Coming off its 1,000 metres at Warwick Farm, gone back to the Newcastle to get some prize money to get some better races. So couple of winners, hopefully some friends of the show. Also going to mention other friends of the show, progroupracing.com.au for a visit there for all their news, opinions and form guides. And let's head down south now so we head down to Pakenham for the Pakenham Cup Day. Always get a bit nervous, as we've said, away from main metro race courses. I'd suggest treading warily because not necessarily anything wrong with the track, it's just different setup for horses, and tracks play differently with better quality stock running over them, really.
Very much a Thursday night meeting.
It is a Thursday night meeting, so let's see how we go. Where do we want to... We may as well kick off in the first.
Yep.
It's a very good place to start.
Why not?
Yeah. Rails in the true, a little bit of rain around, softish track forecast. Generally, that means you can run on at Pakenham, long straight, probably looking for swoopers. More leaderish tends to happen under lights on a Thursday than anything else, but here I'm thinking you can run on. Thinking by the end of the day you want to be running on.
Yep.
Do you want to start off?
Yeah, we'll start off. I've gone for number 3, Nantucket, in the first. First up, Fresh, was very good. Finished powerfully down the middle of the track, like you said.
Yep.
It was a maiden, and stepping out of a maiden into this was a little bit of a concern, but it's a lightly raced group of horses here. Should get the run mid-pack here and should finish off down the middle of the straight and be very hard to hold out. So around the $4 mark, I like Nantucket.
I'm with you. Everything you said, the form first prep was really good, and it stamped it returning quite nicely at Bendigo. Nantucket on top for me as well. I thought the one that might be over the odds, if you look at something else, is Miss Divine M, who looks like a little battler of a horse. She tries very hard, and trial's been fine. And you're getting about $9, but number 3 on top for me as well, Nantucket, for the Kavanagh stable. We go to the benchmark 78 again over the 1,000. Again, a tricky affair. Again, do you want to lead us away?
Yeah, I think I'll stick with the favourite here.
Meteorite.
Meteorite. Going very well this preparation. Look, got beat last start.
Disappointing last start, but that
It
horse
was
is
disappointing, but Grandview Avenue come out and fully franked that.
Yeah.
It brained him after that, so only beaten a length at odds on. Drops a kilo on that run. Probably just as much suited here. Look, it'll lead, and they'll have to beat it. So for me, there's no Grandview Avenue in this race. Hard to beat.
Yep, and I like Jamie Carr on as well, and less pressure. Granville really put it to the hammer last start, and gets pretty much a 1,000-metre race without a lot of pace.
Yep.
So easy to find on top. Again, if you're going to throw out double figures, the one that's a bit outside the market is number 11, That Girl. Form through last prep's pretty good. Chasing Bless Her, front page, chassis, and just kicking off at home over 1,000 might be a play for Phil Stokes here, but that'd be the one outside the favourite if I was going to look elsewhere. Race 3, the 2,000 metre 78. I'm going to, another wide open affair, I'm going to stick with Humble Pie, the Moonee Valley winner. I thought it was a pretty good win. Did have absolute perfect run, was well back that day, and comes here in probably almost a weaker race, if not the same. It's hard to get too excited about the rest of these, and I just thought off that it can springboard again. It's now building a pretty good Australian record. I like Jamie Mott in these sort of tracks, so that's where I'm starting here.
I'll leave it with you, mate, and let you eat your humble pie.
Okay, won't be the first time. Race 4, 1,600 metre, benchmark 70. Interesting race this as well, actually. It's all, again, as you've said, midweek form. Anything for you?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Capodanno. Drawn wide, but will get back in the field. First two runs have been good without flattering in Australia. Over from New Zealand, hasn't been far off in both starts. Again, was less than a length behind Unfair Dismissal, Cusco Lad. Last start was 61 kilos on its back. Similar weight, but they're all up in weight in this. I think the minimum is about 58.
Yep.
So look, not badly weighted in an open affair at $8. The Capo.
Capodanno, I'm with you. Doing a lot of this lately, but my only concern is if it's looking for 2,000 now. It just looked a bit flat before it really lengthened out, but a mile should suit. No problem with Jai McNeil from that gate. I think third up Australia, it's its time, $8, good each way bet there. I'm taking on the ones that are all assisted by the Moonee Valley bias last time. Australia was pretty good, but had the rail in its favour. And I actually don't like the run of Serengeti. Sat outside lead and was pretty tough beating Royal Order, who's in this race last start. And then before that, led and beat Kissinger, who's since come out and won, and beat Wary Falls, who's come and won twice up in Sydney. So reasonable form. So they're the two for me. Both you probably get around the $8 mark on a day. Capodanno and Serengeti. I'm not sure which way the market will treat that, but they're the two clear ones for me there. The handicap over the 1,800 is race 5. What are you doing with your old mate Shot of Irish and All Too Hoying?
Yeah, no, I'm going Tabby Dance.
Yep.
I think Tabby Dance looks a fairly solid bet on the card. In a race like this, should get a good run. Oliver aboard has everything in its favour for a race like this. So I think Tabby Dance is a nice bet. 250 is about the right price, I think, at the moment. You probably don't want anything shorter than that. And as a knockout chance, hopefully Flying can produce some of its form from previous prep. It was a little bit disappointing first up, but I expect improvement tomorrow.
You probably forgive everything from Ballarat that day.
And its splits its final splits weren't too bad.
I've got Tabby Dance on top 2. Don't need to add too much. Third up now, I think primed. Perfect run, Damien Oliver, tick, tick, tick. And I'll forgive All Too Hoying the Sandown run probably didn't quite run out the mile. He was, actually, don't really need to forgive. It was a good run, but yeah, it's here to run well again. Not much else. I think the story of the day is there's many races with just 2 chances in my mind. But now I will throw in Walking Flying to the early quaddy because it's a good point that I'd overlooked. We do quick off the late quaddy though. In with the 1200 metre race 6, I'm going to give High Stranger another chance. Just couldn't get over heels at the right time. To just miss after I had a substantial bet on it at Ballarat. Now gets Nash, gets the right run, and should be, if there's any little bit of chink in it, Nash will stand over it, get out of it, and I think it's easily on top for me. What about yourself?
Yeah, same. I thought I tipped it first up, was back on it again second up, and no reason to get off it third up. I think it's come back in good order, and probably could have easily been as win last start.
Yes, yeah.
So, look, I don't think there's any reason why it can't win a race of this and drawn perfectly in 4.
Yep.
It's hard to beat to me. William Thomas hasn't been in.
I was going to say, if you tipped William Thomas, I was...
Yeah, look, it needs to show something before you'd want to back it again. And I think the favourite serious suspect is a little bit unders at the moment.
I think so too. For a horse that, yeah, I'm never on the right side of it. Serious suspect, so I just went around it.
Yeah, hasn't been winning of late.
No. Overexposures are interesting ones. We've come through some good races, and there's always a bit of a spruik around it. I'm probably going to throw it my quaddie, but just thought I'll throw that out there for whatever that means. Let's get to the Pakenham Cup over the 2,500 metres.
Pakenham Cup, eh?
For the listed race. Oh, it is a listed race. Again, I had 2 hopes in this race. I thought Brennan Rocks from Princess Jenny. The market's not too far wrong. Brennan Rocks is flying. I wouldn't mind actually winning a race.
Oh, it doesn't win. But, it does not win a race.
Ash Run Sound, it was beat home most of that field in those 2. I just have it on top. Based off its Sound Run, Princess Jenny was pretty dominant at Bendigo. Gets Joe McNeil, who's cleaning up every staying race he seems to ride in these days. He's got a swag of staying cups this spring with Princess Jenny. And I didn't really like much else. I think I got my money out of Knight's Order, but we'll see. What about yourself?
Yeah, I've gone for Attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's ready to win. It's last start, I thought it was reasonably good. I know Brennan Rocks beat at home, but it was pretty much in the finish. Sound was a good winner that day. It's had a barrier trial where it won by 4 lengths before last start. I think it's probably got that fitness edge now for the 2,500 here. Nash aboard should get a lot of favours in the run, so I'm hoping that Attorney can produce the run it produced about 3 starts back, and my main danger is Credence.
Yeah, cool.
I thought it's not without a chance. It's been around the money in some good races of late, and if it runs up to that form, can be hard to beat.
Cool.
Brennan Rocks just, mate, I know he's going okay, but
I know it's Brennan Rocks.
Second or third.
I know. That's my concern. So, I'll be backing it each way. The 1,400 metre gold bullion for the 4-year-olds. Excuse me as I...
Bless you.
There we go. I am going to... it was easy for me here to get rid of Ocular because it's now got the stinky grades race form that nothing's come out of. So I was able to pen that straight away, which left me going back to the Astrologist. Another forgive here. I was actually listening to one where Craig Williams came out and basically said he costed the race by going too late, which he did. So that's good to know. I think he'll be on his game here. And the only time over 1,400 metres, it split Rubisaki and High Stranger to run second. And I think there's not a lot else in this field. Galaxy Raiders, another one, doesn't want to win. And that's it for me. The Astrologist. I do want to say Iconoclasm always runs really well in these sort of races.
Yeah.
So he has to be respected. But that's the main one for me. How about yourself?
Yeah, I went the same. I went for Astrologist purely on the fact that it's in the best form of all of these horses. Probably, while it looked a little bit disappointing last start, got a little bit too far out of the ground to win on that track at Ballarat. and I thought it still hit the line pretty well. I don't think it'll have those problems tomorrow. Prior to that was a nice run at Flemington, and then previously a very, very good win at Geelong. So in what doesn't look a very deep race, Astrologist with Craig Williams aboard, I expect that to be winning.
Let's wrap up the day with the 1400 metre Fillies and Mares Gala, benchmark 78. Good luck here. Have you had a crack at anything?
I have had a crack at something.
What have you got?
I've gone for Metronomy,
Okay.
the number 13. I thought it was pretty good last start.
Yep.
At Sandown. Kept battling away. Wasn't far behind the keeper who controlled the race. Yeah, it was a solid enough run, and gets a bit of weight relief here, about 3 kilos. Prior to that, didn't really handle the heavy at Sale, and before that at Pakenham, ran a really nice second behind Ears the Barman. Got beat by a very short margin. So obviously handles this track okay. Distance doesn't seem to be a problem. It's in good enough form in what looks to be a fairly open race.
Great. I didn't like the race at all. Then I sort of dug a little bit deeper. I'm forgiving Arctic Shock first up. It was inside gate. Craig Williams, he's not one to really duck and dive and take inside runs. He just got shuffled right out and spat out the back. Forgiving that. This is an absolute spec, but at double figures, I can have something on Arctic Shock and something on Liberate, just on the suspicion it's a nice mare. First up, gate 14-15, Arctic Shock and Liberate. Hopefully by that time of the day, they're coming right down the outside and I might be in play. But spoiler, I'm actually going field in this leg of the quaddie because anything can win this.
Yeah.
So which I'll get to actually. I'll get to my quaddie. First leg at 2, 5, 7 and 8. Second leg 1 and 2, which is Jess Brenham and Princess Jenny. Just putting it on the line there. 1, 5, 13 third leg, and then field in the last. So we'll know our fate by race 8. Getting about 13% for that. So hopefully we can come home with a big winner in the last. Best of the day for me is the Astrologist. I think he can make amends, and my best value is race 4, number 8, Capodanno, who I suspect you're probably going to do something similar.
I am going to go the Astrologist as my best
as
well. So race 8, number 5, Astrologist, but my best value is going to come up in the last. Race 9, number 13, Metronomy.
Cool. Good stuff. Let's quickly mention progretracing.com.au, and let's also have a quick look at Morpheville, where I've got a couple there, short and sweet. But race 3, number 1, Exalted Joey. Race 6, number 4, Retratro. Both just over evens this morning. I think both can win. You heading north, Beaver?
Oh,
That's
of
what
course,
the people want.
Have to go north. Look, my first bet of the day in Doomburn will come up in race 5, number 5, Shooting for Gold. Expect this one to be winning. Paying okay, $2.50.
Yep.
Then my other 2 is race 8, number 8. So race 5, 8, Jonker. Again.
Oh, Jonker, wasn't it a good win?
It was a good win. And I suspect this horse may have woken up.
Yeah.
And worked it out. And yeah, I think it's going to be really hard to beat from another good draw. And I think the last race we've got a special in race 9, number 7, Isotope.
Good, yeah. Maybe, hopefully that can make amends for the last start as well. Good work, Beaver. Let's
bet them all
finish up
separately and bet them all as an all up, maybe.
Good stuff. Any thoughts to finish on,
mate? I was just flicking over to the railway.
Oh, yeah, we should mention that. Any thoughts? I just said I don't follow WA racing as close as maybe I once did.
Yeah, no. Look, the favourite looks pretty hard to beat with Pike aboard.
Yeah.
However, it is drawn gate 18.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit of a worry. 6-4, drawn 18.
Especially in those sort of horses, Pike's going to be last, and
it's going to get back in the field.
What he's going to be trying to do, yeah.
So it's going to need a little bit of luck in running. I could see the main danger being something like the number 4, Too Close the Sun. It'll probably try and dictate the pace up front and be hard to beat.
One that actually will probably have something on at 30s, which it currently is Nerf Bosk. It was a pretty good win last start, beating Serenity Bay, and coming off spending a bit of time in Melbourne, could run well again here. But if you're looking away from the favourite, I thought Too Close to the Sun was pretty good his last 2 starts as well.
Yep.
So 2 for me each way if I had to really put anything on the line there. And
race 7, number 10, Celebrity Queen. If you backed it last start, you'll get your money back tomorrow.
Yep. Just looking through the rest. Cool. Good luck to everyone playing in the Group 1 over there. Good luck to everyone betting all around Australia. Stay safe. If you're in New South Wales, stay cool. Another hot one on the way. And I will catch up with you on Tuesday night to look forward to next week's racing.
Perfect, mate. Looking forward to it.
Catch you then. Take care, guys.
Ciao for now.